welcome. All right. So finally, been meaning to do this one for a long time now, like probably several months, and I'm joined by another all-new special guest. It's Kaiserne I.
Actually, no. It's the one with longer hair, and the one who doesn't wear a kilt.
Oh, it's Lanny Vitor?
No, that's the one with the beard, actually.
Is it Masako X?
No, that's the British one.
Is it the black guy?
No, that's Amfish, and he's half black-ish.
Oh, ish. No, just kidding. It's Takahata 101.
Hey, how's it go, man?
It's doing good. I'm sorry that you're not Kaiserne I.
It's okay. I also have a cold. You can be sorry for that as well.
That's okay. I probably sound like I have one too because I'm exhausted from everything ever going on in my life. So this was originally going to be with Scott, but he is too busy moving. What an idiot!
I know, right?
Yeah. But I wanted to do this subject for a while. I'm calling this one "The Study of Goku."
Ah,
yes.
His natural habitat, of course, being training or dead.
Yes, absolutely. And I wanted somebody else who was a decently big Dragon Ball fan to join in with me.
Decently.
Taka, tell everybody out there, because actually I don't even know how many people know. What is your experience with the Dragon Ball franchise? Like, how did you grow up with it? What is it? What all of it have you seen?
Well, the thing is, it was airing up on YTV up here. And I started watching like almost immediately. They were airing Dragon Ball before at like super early morning. That didn't work out so well from what I remember. They switched DBZ to the afternoon slot after school, and it was the first show that killed a character off when Yamcha died. And even though they did all the PC, he's gone to another dimension. I'm like, he's dead. This is the first. It was the first cartoon as a kid I had ever watched that had killed a character off.
Yeah,
in a series, maybe in a movie, maybe a couple movies they did that stuff, but like an actual series. So I was like, this show is pretty awesome. And luckily, the Saiyan saga it has enough to it and enough variety that it was a lot of fun to get into. So yeah,
I somehow my first episode. I'm not even kidding. The very first episode of Dragon Ball Z that I ever saw was the filler episode about Bulma and the crab, and that was enough to get me hooked.
Oh man, they got you. They got you are the lowest common denominator of fan.
Clearly. Well, fans know, listeners know that I am a big Dragon Ball aficionado. I've seen. Yes, all three.
You and Kaiser could talk for 5 hours straight about Dragon Ball Z, and I would just be like, yeah.
Vegeta's neat, I guess. Shrug.
Krillin's the main character, but that's how I look at the show.
Well, I wanted to talk about this because a few months back, I recently decided to go marathon all of the original Dragon Ball because I've been watching Z in Kai form. Been getting the DVDs and watching the Boo episodes of those recently as well. But I wanted to go back and rewatch all of Dragon Ball again. I'd never really seen it uncut. I just watched it as it was airing on Cartoon Network. Taka has not seen original Dragon Ball.
No,
before.
I have not. But I actually read the synopsis, and I watched I watched lots of clips. Okay. And I really like it. I think it's a lot of fun.
It's quite good. You guys should do Team 4-Star does original Dragon Ball.
All right, okay. Well, then we would have to double down on writing, so we have to write twice as much. So that means something would suffer eventually.
Okay, so all of them would die if that happens.
No,
right.
But yeah.
Well, no, but yeah.
But no, but yeah. Oh man, I could be a politician.
You could. You are.
Let me be clear.
A poster child is kind of like a politician.
I'm a poster child. What am I a poster child for?
For Team 3-Star.
Team. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna touch your butt. Okay, so I wanted to talk about. This is the most unorthodox, strange Kirblog I think I've ever done. So I wanted to talk about Goku.
Okay.
Your favorite character.
Oh yeah, absolutely, without a doubt. Who's
character.
More endearing than Goku? Some would say anybody else, and they may be right. But the important thing is that Goku has to get that win back. Goku is the John Cena of anime. Now, you're not a wrestling fan. Allow me to explain what John Cena does. John Cena has been around for way too long in wrestling. He is the good guy who always wins, and even though he shouldn't be, even though there's other people that people like more, like other wrestlers people like more, Cena still becomes the champion.
Right.
So literally, he never loses a big feud. He never loses. So everyone equates him to John Cena. Goku, that is.
I may not be a wrestling fan, but I am friends with Devin Mack and Edward Bosco, so...
I have had the pleasure of watching pay-per-views with them. That is something... This is quite a lot of fun.
That should be a video in itself. Well, okay, so here's the thing. So I rewatched all of Dragon Ball, and this will be interesting, too, since you haven't seen this. So I'm going to spoil the stuff that you probably already know. But, so... You know, it's interesting when you watch something like DBZ, and then you grow up and you kind of become more sentient and aware of like how this stuff is produced and you know what the creative process is like when you're a Japanese manga artist drawing 18 pages every single week and having to just kind of, you know, roll with it.
Why can't you just be Oda and Chiro and get people to do that for you? Hey, screw it. Oda got smart very quickly.
Oda can take a break whenever he wants. I'm gonna get my tonsils out. I'll be gone in 2 weeks. See ya. You know. But I look at Goku and see, you know, Goku's such an iconic character, you know, to the world, you know, of not just he goes Dragon Ball Z and Goku as a character go beyond the scope of just being an anime. You know, they're huge to the entire world, to countries even before North America, U.S. and Canada even got the show, as a matter of fact, and.
I think that there is something to be said about that, even though a lot of people, I feel like when they kind of grow up and they step back from DBZ and like,
oh man, Goku was a dick because this and that. You know, looking at Dragon Ball.
Looking at Dragon Ball?
Looking. L-O-O-K. Ghastly, use lick. You're paralyzed. Looking at Dragon Ball and seeing the progression of him, you know, it kind of almost ties into the bit that people are like perplexed about his Japanese voice, which I'm sure you've heard, where they're like, why does he sound like that? I'm like, well, it's because
it was kind of a traditional thing, and it's for the Japanese it makes sense, and culturally they grew up with Dragon Ball, unlike us, where we grew up with Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah,
we did not grew up with Dragon Ball, and that's why a lot of people, when they say they have issues with the Japanese voice of Goku, I'm like, it's completely understood. I can completely understand that because that is a very niche thing, that if you're to the heart of Dragon Ball, you love it. If you're not so much, it's a bit more jarring.
Well, you look at that and what it symbolically represents, you know, keeping Masako Nozawa as the voice of Goku all throughout. You know, when they in Dragon Ball towards the end, when they have the 23rd tournament, and you know, Goku shows up after, I think it was like a 3-year time gap or something, and you know, and then he is the quote-unquote adult Goku that we, you know, in America are more accustomed to. I think I want to say he was like 18 or so by that point. You know, so like seeing that, it just made sense for that transition to go through, and you know, beyond just obviously it being a voice, because obviously, you know, he was a comic character that just did that before that. It's interesting because I think that the reason that Goku has been a character that like has stood the test of time. Is because of the fact that he is so consistent in what it is that like he believes in and what it is that he does. And I think the fact that you know, consistency with him as a character is a fault, I think also makes him interesting. Because, you know, like looking at you know, DBZ Abridged, for instance, you know, I'm sure fans of your show are noticing this sort of arc with Gohan, and the fact that he is, you know, aggravated with his father, very rightfully so, because Goku's not a great father. Goku certainly cares about people. I mean, like he fights to protect them and to protect the world. You know, he's not like so impure or anything like that. But his eye's always on the prize. He's always about, I want to, you know, push myself. I want to reach a new limit with my martial arts.
I want to go farther.
Yeah.
I want to go farther.
And absolutely nothing gets in the way of that, you know. And like, you know, even getting married and having a kid, I mean, you know, that was like, okay, you know what? Well, I didn't know what that meant, but I promised I would marry you, Chi-Chi, when I was 5 and didn't understand what I was saying, so it's only right that I marry you. And he did it. And, you know, he didn't understand it, but he did it because he knew it was the right thing to do. And that's, you know, it's kind of admirable.
You could have easily backed out by saying, who are you? Oh.
And, yeah, no, but he didn't. He was like, no, I promised I'd marry you? Okay, let's do it. Done. Easy, simple. Literally, that was it. And Chi-Chi's like, okay, I win! But yeah, it's but even having a wife and kid doesn't stand in his way. You know, constantly throughout all of Z, it's, you know, it's all about, even though again obviously he's protecting people. It's all about, you know, I enjoy pushing myself and my limit in terms of, you know, a fighter. So Taka, do you hate Goku, or do you think that Goku is a bad character?
I think Goku is, while a very iconic character, I would put up there with Superman, actually. Well, funny enough, right? I think Goku, however, because of how he's a pure good guy. Mm-hmm. He needs to defeat the villain so much that he overlooks everything else in his life, and he is a crap father because of it. It's kind of interesting because you know what, a big comparison I realized recently was Avatar: Legend of Korra. They talk about Aang as he's growing up and how he was a crappy father.
That's true.
Aang was a crap father, and guess what? That's exactly the same as Goku. Just because you're really good at one thing does not mean you're good at something else. I actually find it more endearing that he's a crap father, because he's not perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Because no one is perfect. I am not perfect. You are not perfect. No one is in this world. Everyone has a detriment to themselves. Like Martin Luther, Gandhi was a terrible person if you really look deep into it, and so was Martin Luther King about certain things that they did. They did some terrible, but they did good things though for the mass. So sometimes you overlook the side things that they do because of the big things that they did, right?
That's actually perfect. That was the perfect segue into what I was going to say. Is like, yeah, I mean, because and even this kind of applies in a way to some of the Z fighters. I mean, because you look at some of the choices that even like Vegeta and Krillin make during the fight with Cell, and like Gohan with when he's like getting too cocky after going Super Saiyan 2 and etc. A lot of Earth's mightiest heroes, or the Z fighters, I guess in this case, they did a lot of stupid things, and they did a lot of selfish things. When really they literally have the fate of the world in their hands. They're the people that are responsible for being able to prevent this catastrophic stuff from happening. And even the fact that there's a point where Goku is like, what, I think it would probably be better if I just stay dead, because that would prevent further threats from overtaking the Earth. Mm-hmm. I think, I agree that I think that those characters having those kind of selfish human flaws and not just being, pure-hearted, and it's funny because Goku is considered a character of pure heart because he's ignorant of, of evil, as a concept. I think that all of that, and especially how it's, showed throughout, even just Z, even for people who just watch Z and haven't seen Dragon Ball like yourself, I think that a lot of that shines through, and I think that that's the reason why characters like Goku and Gohan and Piccolo and Vegeta, a lot of the main ones who've been the most consistent throughout.
And Krillin too, actually. Krillin, I love. Krilla's almost this barometer of a normal guy. He's like the normal guy thrust into everything, but he has enough power that he is somewhat useful. And I like that they kept that right through Cell.
Yeah, and then Mr. Satan became kind of the new relatable human character for the Buu Saga.
Yeah, we can all relate with Mr. Satan, I think.
I think Sabbath, no joke, has even said that Mr. Satan is his favorite character.
Mr. Satan is... That's why, like, when people say, what's the worst Dragon Ball Z movie? And I say, Broly's Second Coming, and everyone goes like, whoa, you don't mean Bio Broly? Okay, first of all, Bio Broly had Hercule. Bio Broly had Mr. Satan.
Oh,
That's a better. It is a better movie than
you said the H word. Vegito EX is going to come after you now.
Hercule, Mr. Satan. Guess what? They're both.
Mark. Let's call him Mark.
Is Mark Satan or Hercule? Here's the thing. I actually like the name Hercule. I actually thought that name was a really good idea.
France came up with it, so
no,
you filthy Canadian.
No. The term Hercule is actually it catches your attention, and it's stuck. People are still call him that to this day from just one dub. So,
I feel like there weren't enough Goku, Mr. Satan scenes in general throughout the show. Although we did get that funny fusion character in one of the Budokai games, which was pretty slick. Goten, Gokule, he was funny. As somebody, I guess to kind of close up thoughts a little bit here. Mm-hmm. So as somebody who's, sort of coming up with this parodic, but still true to the character kind of, arc for Goku, and having the context of, who he is and what makes him a great character. I don't know, how do you view Goku as a person? Like, what is it about when you're writing episodes? I mean, you're about to jump into a scripting session when we're done with this even. What is it about Goku that you think is like appealing, like even just to you, like from a creative perspective, in doing the show and everything.
Everything he does, he believes he's doing the right thing.
Mm.
And that's, I think, even if it's a mistake, which is, don't worry, I'll let them get stronger so then the kids can fight them. Because he realizes someday he will be defeated, possibly, and they need someone around who could maybe be stronger than him. And at least he has that foresight. He has this weird big picture way of looking at things in a strange way. It's just weird. But everything he believes he's done was for the right thing, even if it wasn't. And that's what's endearing about him. I think forever and ever, he will stand the test of time. They will constantly go back to him and make new games with him.
Dragon Ball Z, Project V, whatever the new one, Xenoverse, whatever it's called.
Oh man, I'm hype. I'm hype because it looks like Budokai. I'm like,
I can't wait to play as my fan fiction half Saiyan, half Namek character.
Yes.
Derek.
Why is that not a thing? You can't be half Namekian.
Derek's with a Y and an X and a Z. I agree with all of that, and I think that even Goku is. I think that Goku is a more human character than somebody like a Superman.
Mm-hmm.
I think the fact that Goku is a country bumpkin who just so happened to be the strongest person in the universe, who just so happens to be of a race that likes to fight, but has the sensibility of a human earthling superhero that wants to use that passion for the right reason, and also happens to be the things that the circumstances in which what makes Goku, I think, are so intriguing and so fun for, and in fact, even this is perfect timing with Battle of Gods coming out soon. I think that the story they came up with him for that, which when that comes out in the U.S., everybody out there who hasn't seen it yet, please, you'll be quite pleasantly surprised by that. So, yeah. Well, that's I think that's gonna wrap us up. Taka, would you like to plug anything? You want to plug your Gammon channel?
Gammon, yeah, TFS Gaming. We got a lot of fun content on there, and of course Team 4-Star. And there's a lot of really cool bridge series out there. Go check them out.
Yeah, a lot of really cool bridge series out there that we made.
No, there's lots that I have no creative input in whatsoever, and it's so nice.
So nice I can just sit back and have my ass fuse into the couch through osmosis while playing Dead Space.
No, there's like a couple of bridge series out there that I have no say whatsoever, and I'm like, I love them to death, so I hope they make more of them. It's Fate Zero. It's like a Fate Zero bridge, and they're rewriting the plot. It's pretty funny.
We're actually working on Rayman, the animated series, the abridged series together. Taka and I are really excited about that.
You are? That's great.
Yeah, no, we are.
Oh, we are?
You got my memo. We are.
Oh, man. Okay.
On the cruise.
I want Raymond to be voiced by...
Vic. Got it. Okay.
No.
Hey, in the meantime, what do you think of Goku? Leave a comment below. If you've got any ideas for future Kirblog topics, let me know over Twitter, Tumblr.
Don't forget to like, favorite, subscribe.
Don't forget to touch Taka's nutsack.
Yep.
On TFS Gaming channel where you can do that.
Yep.
Also, in the meantime, go watch Tome Episode 9 Part 2 now on the YouTubes, along with the Tome Episode 9 commentary featuring our good friend Moscow X joining in, and our other good friend Little Karibo.
Yeah, Karibo.
And also some people, I don't know, Casey Mangelo, Anna Kingsley, Shady Fox. I don't know, I've never heard of them. Kerbifer, I think he's some douchebag. Shut up. Yeah. Also, this week coming out will be Dragon Ball Z Did You Know Voice Acting Part 3, and also some Christmas stuff that I did with Kaiser Neko, kind of in tribute to him. So we love you, Scott. Sorry you couldn't make it because you're too busy moving like an asshole. So, Taka, say goodnight. Say goodbye to everybody out there.
Good night. Goodbye, everybody.
How quaint.
Wah, wah, wah.
How sad. For you!